Dr. Kalaichandran and Amitha here for our last episode of our special chef series featuring some of the chefs behind Evra Meals. And today, I'm very excited to share that today we are with
Chef Maria Kardamaki Robertson. I'm from Demeter's Pantry.
Wonderful. So we are here and we're actually in Chef Maria's own home kitchen, which is really exciting. Beautiful place. We'll show you the beautiful garden afterwards. We have this incredible spread here as well. And so today, what are we making?
We're going to make two vegan items actually. We're going to make a spinach and lentil shepherd's pie that comes as a meal. And we're also going to show you how to make a Greek salad, which is really easy. You can pair it with a lot of different dishes with our shepherd's pie, but also other things that you do, especially in the summer.
Great. I love Greek salad, and having a more sort of vegan style in the Greek salad, so without the feta cheese, but keeping everything else the same, is really exciting. And something else to note is Demeter's Pantry doesn't just offer vegan meals, but they have an incredible selection. What are some of your most popular meals?
So one of our most popular meals is a Greek chicken ball. And so this is grilled chicken. It has a really nice sauce on it with green beans. So it's a very balanced meal. And we do also a Moroccan turkey meatball. So different items from across the Mediterranean. And sometimes we will take ingredients and fuse them, as you will see now in the shepherd's pie. And we also do Latin items, so like chicken enchiladas, for example. And some other things. We got into Asian food a little bit right now. We do a butter chicken that's Indian. Yeah, a lot of different items.
Awesome. And I love that we're making shepherd's pie today because I grew up with my mother's shepherd's pie. Growing up in the UK and England, and it was one of my favorite things to eat. So having an option that is lentil based, and lentils are full of incredible nutrients, fiber, protein, that is eaten a lot in the Mediterranean area. So I love that that is a fresh twist. And we're going to be hearing a little bit more about the healing powers of the Mediterranean diet. Some really great research. We're going to be hearing about Greece, Maria's story, how she got into being a chef, which is super exciting. So let's just dive right into it.
So I'm sure you all have eaten shepherd's pie, the traditional shepherd's pie. It's made with meat, and this is an adaptation to vegan. We substituted lentils for meat, and lentils are very popular throughout the Eastern Mediterranean. In many cuisines are used. They're also a very good protein source for people who are vegan. So we're gonna make it's 3 different layers. The bottom layer has garlic, spinach, and the layer of the lentils that we will cook with carrots. And up of it, we're gonna put a potato mush, which is like mashed potatoes, but vegan mashed potatoes without, usually put butter and milk and stuff. So I'm gonna start with cutting the onions.
Great. And we see the over there. So those lentils.
Yeah, I cooked this morning because I cooked the lentils. So I just boiled the lentils so they're ready.
And is there a specific type of lentil that you like using?
For this purpose, we use brown lentils,
Okay.
but if you don't have brown lentils, you can use any lentils.
Okay, got it.
So we're gonna just chop the onions.
All right, so we chop the onions.
Yeah, and now we're gonna chop the carrots, small.
So you grew up in Greece.
I grew up in Greece, in the island of Crete, which some of you might have gone because it's a very popular tourist destination now. And Crete has always been considered kind of the Mediterranean diet. It's a very rich agriculturally island, and people grow a lot of things even in just their backyard. So herbs are very common, the people will grow it in their backyard. And I learned how to cook with my grandmothers. As an older girl in the family, I was kind of expected to help. And a lot of the times they would just send me to the backyard to cut like mint or parsley or we're making. And then I will help them with the cooking. And that's how I learned how to cook traditional Greek cuisine. But then when I left high school, I went to another island in a hotel management school, and I attended culinary school there. And there I learned more kind of what the European cuisine, which involves Greek, also, French and cuisines from the European.
Very cool.
Okay, so now we will saute the lentils. Now, olive oil is really important in the Mediterranean diet, and we use extra virgin Greek olive oil and imported olive oil. You want
Great.
olive oil that's actually has been certified to be extra virgin.
And you prefer the Greek olive oil specifically?
I just like
You
the
feel the
taste of
taste?
it.
Yeah. How would you describe? Is it more
It's sharper.
nuttier?
Yeah. And it has green color.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that is gorgeous.
We will put it just enough to
And so you're at
probably too big of a pan for the.
And you're at medium now?
Just medium.
Waiting for the oil to heat up in the pan.
Yeah.
Almost ready. So tell me a little bit about Karia, which is one of the blue zones in Greece. You mentioned that you're so the areas of the world where people live typically until they're 100, and so a lot of the reason behind that from the research is a combination of food, a combination of social connection, movement, exercise. People have movement and exercise built into their day. But your grandparents actually spent time there.
Yeah.
You said every year. So a little bit about that.
So Ikaria is kind of middle Aegean in Greece. It is one of the blue zones. That means that not everybody who lives there, but a lot of people live over 100. And it's known for its spring water that you can submerge yourself in it. And supposedly, according to my grandparents, it does wonders. Like all their pains will away.
Wow.
The salts that come out of the springs have healing powers. But it's also the connections. I would say like all the islands in Greece, the communities are really close together. So people just don't feel, by themselves. They feel like support.
Right.
Which is important.
So every time your grandparents would come back from Ikaria, they would say they just felt
renewed. Yes.
Yeah.
Until next year.
Later.
Right.
So in my book on healing, which came out last year, I have a chapter on nutrition, chapter 6, and I talk about a couple of the blue zones and the Mediterranean diet, which I'll talk a little bit more shortly. And Okinawa in Japan, which you've been to, is another example. And examples of places that have hot springs, like Lourdes in France, and just how people do these sort of healing benefits. I'm wearing my my blue dress because of my trip when I went to Greece several years ago. I didn't go to Crete. I went to Milos. I went to Santorini, best sunset ever, and then Mykonos, which is Maria's favorite place to party. It is a party place, but Crete is definitely on my list in Korea. Okay, so now we're ready to do the lentils.
We don't want to fry them. We just want to saute them.
Yeah. And that makes sense because olive oil has a lower point, so you want to be kind of quick with it.
So that's a lot of if you look at Greek, especially the one that's it's produced in the island, it's very simple. Now the recipes could have a lot of, like the shepherd's pie has a lot of steps that we're going to be doing, but you will see that the ingredients are very simple. They're the kind of ingredients you can easily find just out in the market, and that's because the vegetables taste really good. So I always advise people, if you can, go to the farmer's market, pick up some fresh vegetables. If you can do organic, great. If you can, that's at least to be fresh, and use a lot of fresh herbs. And that's what gives it. There's not heavy spices and everything. It's simple.
Yeah, I think that's coming up a theme with a lot of like simple but still flavorful.
Yes.
That you don't need to have a million different things to make something that's tasty but also nourishing. So here goes the carrots. It's starting to smell really, really delicious. So this looks like it's coming together really nicely.
It's coming together, yeah. So we're gonna put
Okay.
You probably need a little bit of oil. I'm not measuring here.
Because so much of it is kind of a feel, right? The name Demeter's Pantry come from?
So Demeter is a goddess of agriculture in ancient Greece. She's one of the most powerful goddesses. And supposedly she taught women how to make bread, and she taught men how to process the wheat and make flour, and among other things, because, as a goddess of agriculture. I thought this would be a great name for the company, because when we first started the company, it was an import company, worked with women's cooperatives in Greece that took basically leftover crops from the village and would things. A lot of the times use very kind of like techniques to preserve their fruits. So remember, in the past people didn't have fridges, so there was a lot of techniques like pickling or baking jams, or that would allow them things for the winter months. And the kind of products that first we worked with. But then in 2008 we got into meals and prepared foods, and we start making it here. So we're gonna put a little bit of spices
Okay.
here.
So we're gonna take
And pepper and cumin.
Okay.
Again, we're not gonna measure now, but
Yeah.
normally you wanna measure it. Didn't have any problems.
Great.
So this might need a little bit of water.
Okay.
It's kind of dry now.
Really delicious.
So we can make the Greek salad and just let it cook a
Okay.
little bit longer until it becomes very
Okay. Here we have all of our
Greek salad to go with the lentil, spinach, shepherd's pie.
preference, and if you have it at home. So now the lentil is being set out to cool.
You need to make the layer that goes in the shepherd's pie, which is the garlic spinach. So we got some just baby spinach and garlic and olive oil and some garlic and salt that will go in it. I'm just gonna cut the garlic, the fresh garlic.
Okay, excellent. And then I just picked up some really incredible morel mushrooms from my friend Easton in the DuPont market. He sells incredible mushrooms in many farmers markets, including DuPont Circle farmers markets. I love morel mushrooms. I'm going to cut some of these just for the side because I think they're very tasty. And for someone that's vegetarian or vegan, morels have a really yummy, meaty taste to them. We also just added some capers to the lentils, and I am going to start just making some of these morels that I was mentioning. So this is on.
Oh, it's on. Okay.
Now I'm going to increase it to medium, and we'll show you how it all looks at the end. And so I'm going to cut one more tomato because Maria gave me a tip that if you use a bread knife, it's less likely that you will slip when you're cutting. And remember, I'm cutting it in quarters. It's less likely that you'll slip. So I'm going to chop up some of this garlic for Maria as well. But our meal is fully together. We've got the spinach, the morels are getting ready, and we'll be ready to eat.
Some oil. We're gonna saute the garlic a little bit. You don't want to, burn it. And then the spinach has a lot of water, so it will, wilt down and cook. A lot of spinach, but it's gonna be very little left.
And the morels are pretty much done. So I'm turn this in. And garlic has incredible healing properties as well. It's a very natural antiviral.
And it's very good for the heart.
Spinach looks like it's almost done.
You want to get it done like this, just so you will. So this is the last layer that's going to go into the shepherd's pie, and it's very much like mashed potatoes, but most people know how to make, except that have olive oil. They don't have any butter in it. And so this is going to be a creamy topping that goes on top. And when we put it in the oven to cook, it releases some of its water, and it will create kind of like a creamy top.
It looks really delicious. Okay, so the spinach is all...
And it just has a strong garlic flavor, and this will flavor the pie.
Okay, great.
So now we're ready to assemble the 3 layers, basically. So that will be the spinach that we made, the garlic spinach, the lentil mix, and then we'll put the mashed potatoes on top of it. So I'm gonna put the spinach first. That whole bag of spinach. This is how low we ended up with. Scoop up the garlic because that tastes good. And then you want to put some of the lentils in to make it good. Find my spatula, so we're gonna use the knife right now. Okay.
Just use like Yukon Gold potatoes.
Yeah, Yukon Gold color.
Oh, it does, yeah.
So
This is the fusion.
It's really just for decoration.
Yeah.
Right?
You can even put here that we preheat it to 375, and we wanted just everything is cooked.
Yeah.
But we just want it to fuse together, and also we wanted to get a nice little crust on top.
Perfect. So how long do you put it in for?
Well, this is a convection oven, so I'm
Yep.
gonna put it for like 15 minutes.
Okay, great. This we dressed it with.
We dressed the red wine vinegar, salt. We would like to put some dry oregano too. You don't have to, but I think it goes well with it.
Here, and then we're gonna dig into the shepherd's pie a little bit. Looks really delicious. I do think the tomato's better when it's in quarters.
Yeah.
Everywhere else look good. All right, now for the shepherd's pie, the big main event. This potato, the lentil, the spinach. It's really good. I love it. I love like the potato, the creaminess. The lentils are like the perfect consistency.
And
the
also
spinach.
for someone who is vegan, a lot of the times you end up getting those dishes that just rice and vegetables, but
Yeah.
not enough.
Exactly. No, it tastes really delicious. Paprika, everything is great. All right, so bon appetit. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to Demeter's
I'll say what we
Pantry.
say in Greece, tiniyashu.
Tiniashu,
Yeah. Which
And-
means to your health.
your health. To Demeter's Pantry, to
Good beginning for Evra.
yes, a
That
good
just
beginning
launched.
that just launched, and to Chef Maria.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
It was fun.